In the early morning hours, the New York City police force raided the popular gay bar Stonewall Inn. Raids by the police were something normal then. But that night, the people in the bar fought back. Several nights of protest followed and became known as the Stonewall Riots. They marked the beginning of the gay liberation movement. 42 years later, the American embassy in Vienna hosted a discussion to talk about the changes that came after Stonewall and the current situation for gay people in Austria and the United States.
I just wanted to say hello. My name is Jan Krč. I'm the Public Affairs Officer. So, Ms. Lunacek, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I was the first Austrian politician who, now 16 years ago, 95, when I ran for the first time for the Austrian Parliament, openly said that I'm a lesbian and I struggle for our rights. Because, and I was asked afterwards quite often, oh, how did you dare? How could you be so courageous, in this very conservative country here? And how did you dare? And for me, it wasn't that daring. It was more of an issue of why should I hide something that has been an essential part of my life? And that even in politics, what would I do if I were to hide that? I would be afraid of somebody seeing me with my partner holding hands or giving a goodbye kiss when she meets me on the train or something like that. And that's no way to live. Yeah? So this has been part of my personal story, but of course of my political one as well. So looking back at 42 years ago in Stonewall and what has come since then, and even having a debate like that in America, House, in the center of Vienna, is something that when I had my coming out around 25, 30 years ago, no way. Maybe not even 5 years ago, I don't know, you're better to judge. Or even in Austria now, by now having a law that permits us to not get married, but at least have a partnership with all the deficits. But there's something we have gained lots of grounds. Many of us who have fought as the people in the Stonewall Bar started 42 years ago, and in many parts of the world.
I really believe from the bottom of my heart that we're on the right way. I also believe that we need more and more and more support by the public. On the other hand, I realize that our own tolerance is not big enough yet. We always ask for tolerance, day by day, day by day. We ask for tolerance, more tolerance. But sometimes I have a feeling I'm not as tolerant as it should be. Some of us probably are not as tolerant as it should be. If somebody's different, if somebody loves bright colors, if somebody is not the way public wants it, if somebody has not the right color, if somebody has not the right movements, we're not tolerant ourselves. And I have a feeling that we have to show tolerance to other people when we ask for tolerance. My story is short. I had my coming out when I was 40, 13 years ago, and it was also unbelievable. It was a standstill. A lot of people said I just did it to sell tickets. How stupid you have to be to believe you're selling tickets if you tell people you're gay in Austria. You must be completely lunatic. On the other hand, I remember one line, a wonderful line from an old journalist. He said, you know, we knew it, everybody knew it, but you're not talking about it, you're in Austria. And that's true.
But what I wanted to say is when I came out with 29, I was very, very much in love with a guy, his name was Jürgen, and I got the guts together I knew Peter and Rudi, my two brothers, they were not available that 8th of May in 1993. So now you know how old I am. So I said to Mom, my father was in Croatia and he was on a business trip, and I sat with her on Sunday and I said, you know what, Mom, I take you off to lunch, you don't have to cook for me. Okay, son, so we went to Restaurant Summer, which is on Döblinger Hauptstraße, and we sat there and we get the schnitzel and we started to eat, and I'm so anxious to say like, Mom, I'm in love. Yes? Who is it? Well, it's a man. Oh, what's his name? This is how my mom reacted.
I remember when I was first in Austria, I found it's not the book, but it's Spartacus. It's a gay guide. This is the 1999-2000 edition. It's not too old, and let's see what it says about Austria. Austria remains, in terms of its laws in Europe, outdated. Homosexual acts are still punishable and the age of sexual consent still varies. Homosexual acts between men are permissible at 18. Sexual acts between straights and lesbians is set at 14. Well, and violation on these deeds can lead to a stint behind bars for up to 5 years. So we would have been staying together for 5 years maybe. Well, this was 2000, not too long ago. And so quite a lot of things changed when just 9 years ago the age of consent was equalized. 7 years ago there were the first laws against discrimination because of sexual orientation, and just 2 years ago there was gay partnership. But despite a lot changed, it's like Ulrike said, she's one of the few. There are politicians who are openly gay are hard to find. So maybe it's still because representing a top company or a country still needs a husband or a wife who's married. And I think that's also in business life, there's still lots of hypocrisy, and there's a glass ceiling if you want to make a career. There's a certain step which you simply can't get over.
So there's a long way to go, and I think it's wonderful that we're here tonight. And together more tolerance. March tomorrow, please march. Take costumes, it's not going to rain. And show those people that we're here and we're loud and we're happy and we're proud.